You know, I really hate dealing with weeds. And that's one of the reasons why I really love to straw bale garden, because essentially in the straw bales, there's really no weeds to pull. You might get a little bit of ryegrass or some oat grass, wheatgrass that pops up once in a while, and that's super easy. You just pull them out or hit them with a spritz of vinegar and they're gone. But, you know, it seems like everywhere else in the garden, I've got these dang weeds that just keep popping up. Especially like in my driveway or back where I've got my tomato bucket system. I've always got weeds that grow up through the cracks. And, you know, I've tried so many things, you know, from covering them to hitting them with boiling water. So if we're cooking in the kitchen and we got some boiling water, I'll just dump it out here. And that takes care of them for maybe a week or so. And then they just grow right back. And it drives me nuts. So I'm out looking for, you know, something I can use to maybe get rid of these things, but I don't really want to use a glyphosate or something like that and risk poisoning my property, my lawn, for what could be decades to come. You know, I really just don't like using those types of products. So I got to looking around and, you know, a couple of people have suggested use the best thing there is out there. It's organic, it's cheap, and it's might be the most effective method there is. Fire. Who would have thought? So check it out. I picked up this, what is that? Hot Max garden torch. Now, you know, I'm not advocating this particular brand, but just the garden torch itself. What an awesome thing. I picked this thing up for like, I don't know, $25. And you just hook up these, little LP gas tanks to them. And these things are super cheap. You know, they're a little propane fuel, or you can get the little welding type that go on there. This is designed for propane only, so don't try to use like another type of MAP gas or something. But just hook a little cheap propane tank up to this thing, which is super easy. Just twist it on. And bang, it's that easy. You just turn the little lever on. And off to the races you go. Man, super effective. So you know what? I think we need to take this thing for a test drive and see just how it does. This is cool. All right, guys, so my first impression of this thing is, man, I love it. It's fun to use. It brings out that primal, primitive pyromaniac in me. But obviously, anytime you're using fire, you want to be very careful with it, especially making sure you're not burning the neighborhood down, for one, and two, making sure that you're not accidentally targeting plants that you don't want to target. So really, it's not the flame itself directly on the plant or the weed that's going to cause the damage. It's really the heat. It's so that heat can escape and come up and actually torch plants that you don't want burnt. Even if you don't think you're burning them, you could very easily be burning those plants. But you know what? If you just pay attention to what you're doing, I think this is a really, really valuable tool to have in the garden and around the house. Now, with that being said, we're going to give this a couple of days. Now, you notice when I burn some of these weeds, I didn't burn the whole thing. I just burnt the base, and that's just going to cause irreparable cellular damage to those plants, and it's going to kill them. At least I think it's going to kill them. But we'll come back in a couple of days, take a look at it, and see exactly how much damage it did and how well this thing worked. All right, guys, we'll be back in a couple days, and we'll assess the damage. All right, so how did it do? Well, by the looks of it, did pretty damn good. It's been 3 days now, and I only see just a couple little pieces of green here, and these plants are well on their way out. So I would say the propane torch is an absolute winner. As long as we're careful with it, it's going to take care of these weeds. And an added bonus, if there were any seeds in these cracks, it's going to torch those suckers too. So I definitely like it. It's a winner. So overall, what's the verdict for the weed torch? It's an absolute winner. Definitely a good buy. If you're looking for a simple, effective, and organic way to get rid of the weeds in your garden, if you use a little bit of caution, just pick up one of these weed torches. It'll put an end to some of those weeds that simply keep coming back over and over and over again. No matter what you try to do, you pull them, you spray them, or if you don't want to use those sprays, man, this garden torch is awesome. So I'm not selling anything here. I just want to give you an idea. I picked this up about a week ago and just wanted to give my honest opinion on it. It's really a very super effective way to go. Definitely a good buy. I'm glad I picked up the weed torch, and maybe it's something you can think about picking up for your home and garden. All right, guys. Hey, thanks again for joining me here today in the Brew City Garden for the weed torch test. This thing works absolutely wonderful. Hey, if you like the content, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We got all kinds of cool new content here at the Brew City Gardener channel. All right, guys, until next time, we'll see you.